There are some crazy ways to make your vision loss feel like almost no big deal. My name is Corey, and this is how I completely changed my life with low vision. So 2 years ago, I was stuck. I was really struggling to, really provide for my family like I wanted to. Additionally, I just was not happy, and I was worried that I would never be as happy as, I kind of dream about, or, as happy as I want to be. But I found some ways to flip the script. And now I'm living a life I really did not think it was possible even a year ago. Here's how I made my life easier, happier, and just more fun. The first and the hardest step was, at least for me, was being real with myself and the people around me, because I like to pretend that I was okay, and I like to pretend that everything was fine and I could do everything. But when I started to kind of self-reflect and see where I actually was, it was like, yes, I needed help. I need help. It's funny because even when, after I moved out of my parents' house, and me and my now wife would, go back home, even with my parents, there was a disconnect on what they thought I needed versus what I actually needed. Perfect example would be, me, I have essentially no night vision. Anything in the dark, I'm struggling. But I'd come home and, turn on almost every light, just to navigate and see. They have a dog, so I would definitely be turning on lights just to, if I'm serving food or, walking around, and I would hear it. They would think I was insane because I'm turning on these lights. They're like, "You're running up my bills." And I'm like, I'm sorry. I'm not. That wasn't my intention. You're right. But in reality, I really needed to, I needed the light. There was one time, and oh my gosh, I'm going to say this. Sorry to my sister Buzz, because I definitely kicked her little 6-pound dog down some steps one time because it was dark and I didn't see him, and he's black, and I kicked him down the stairs. I feel bad. I'm sorry. ASPCA, do not come after me. I say all that to say, I never complained. I never, really made it a big deal, but I think even little things like that led to where I am now. And it was definitely a crucial first step for me and everything else that followed. So step number 2 for me is seek out resources and support systems. In my case, man, the time between my first step and second step was way longer than it should be. And hopefully you avoid doing the same thing. I've been dealing with tunneling vision my entire life. I've been dealing with no night vision at all, and very difficult depth perception, and it hasn't been until recently, last year recently, that I started looking for resources. And to be honest, that's really because my retina specialist told me I needed to do so. But in that time, I found not only support groups and the Commission for the Blind, the local Commission for the Blind that I'm a part of, and obviously you have the national ones too, but there's a lot of resources available, from apps on your phone and your computer. There's a lot more people in the space, whether it's YouTubers or folks on Instagram, for example, that are not only dealing with this, that could relate to us, but they're out here educating and guiding us. And I think for me, the big thing is just knowing that there's more of us out here. It's not just me, and the comfort of having, a community, at least being a part of a community has been a huge sigh of relief. So I definitely think seeking out resources, and at least this type of resources, is a big one. It's been a clutch. And speaking of that, maybe if you're still watching this video, if you could share your experiences and your tips in the comments, I think that would be amazing, because just going along with just that community, I think us knowing that we're out here could really brighten up our days and just help us feel better, as we go out in the world. So please, even if you just drop a yes in the comments, so we know, hey, you're one of us, that'll be really cool. So I appreciate it. Thanks for tuning in. All right, guys, now for my third step. This one is redefine how you work and earn a living. So I'm completely aware that this is not an easy one. I'm not trying to sell a dream or anything like that, but I'm hoping that you use me as an example so you know it's at least possible. For me, traditional work environments just were not possible anymore. Like, I could no longer follow a mouse on a screen, at least well. And that's me like maxing out the mouse size and changing the color. The amount of times I'm typing and I get lost just, trying to see where I am. I end up deleting stuff. It's at this point, I'm in my 30s. It's rough, to be honest. But, with my tunnel vision, it's pretty much how, like, whatever I am looking at, I can see within reason, but there's so much blurriness around it that it makes it difficult. So when I was still working my like 9-to-5 job, I was working in the office. I was fortunate enough that I started a side hustle. Really, it came from paranoia and being like, man, again, it's just the cost of life, the cost of having a family. Like, I need to produce more for my family. And you might even hear my daughter screaming in the back right now. But I started a side hustle, and fortunately, as time went on, I was able to leave my day job and do the side hustle full time, which was perfect because I was going crazy at work trying to just keep up, and I was obviously lagging behind. I was having a tough time, and my business was actually able to kind of produce enough so that way it's like I had something to do. When I left my job. And like I said, I didn't know about a lot of these resources until recently, and I left my job in 2022. So, I was just kind of on my own trying to make things work for my family. So the blessing is all the work that I do now is literally on my phone. I'm on my phone talking to people, like solving problems. I'm not looking at a computer like I used to be, often at all. I'm able to just really just talk, and man, I think I actually got lucky, because I think it made me more comfortable to do something like this, because I never thought I'd be making videos. So yes, this third step, being able to create or work a different job that suits your needs is definitely a big one, and I'm grateful because it really gave me more control of my life, where I didn't have to be stressed going into the office every day. So number 4 on today's video. Number 4 is to relocate to a place that works for you. And clearly, this is the craziest move we made, as it relates to helping me in my situation. It's something that completely changed my life and my family's future, probably forever, to be honest. I still wake up in disbelief because, man, I'm from New York, and the winters are cold, and it's such I love New York, obviously, but man, like, I wake up to palm trees now. We're practically living at the beach, and it's been more than 6 months, and like, wow, like, I still can't believe I decided to leave home. It's crazy because while I'm living in paradise, everything is more affordable. Everything is more comfortable. It's easier. It feels safer. And man, like, I would do it again in a heartbeat. The only 2 things that I miss is my family. Oh my gosh, my family. But you compound that with food, like food, my mom's food. Oh my gosh, that while this is the craziest move we made, it's definitely something I would make again in a heartbeat. It's a decision that I do not regret at all. And I'll definitely get into that in a later video. But for now, I would say, relocating doesn't have to be as drastic as leaving your home country. It could be just moving to another town, maybe it's moving to another state, but being in a place that's more accessible, maybe it's easier to get around, easier to meet people, things like that could really make a difference in your life. For me, I wanted us to have experiences and have fun and, just do things that we weren't doing in our home in New York. So listen, earlier I mentioned these were just a few ways of how I improved my life for the better, but there's a lot more I cannot fit in this video. From how I survived corporate America to the tech and the gear, the apps I use. Check out this video right here if you want to see more ways I improved my life with low vision and blindness. And I promise you, there's a lot more on the way. Thanks for tuning in. Check out this video right here. Okay. How should I do it? Here, right here. Check out this video right here if you want some more tips and guidance on how I improve my life. Okay, I got this. I really had to stop pretending I could do it all.